Hey, welcome in, folks. Welcome in. So what we're going to do today is another awesome painting. We're going to do a little barn scene, wintry barn scene here. So what I've done already, and this is a 16 by 20 canvas here. And this is, what I've done is measured in an inch from the edges here on each side. And then I put painter's tape all around. And that's when we're done painting, we're going to peel this off and it's going to give us a nice bordered edge. And it's going to look like it's framed. And it's going to just give it a nice look to it once it's done. So that's what this is for. This is just painter's tape. Sometimes whenever I'm teaching classes, I do this for the students just for a couple reasons. For the nice look of it, and then also so that whenever they go to handle their painting, they're not putting their thumb right in their fresh painting. So it gives them a little bit of room to grab it too. So there's multiple purposes for it. So that's mainly, it works really well, and it's really painter's tape you can get anywhere at any hardware store. So that's what that is. So we have not put our liquid white on yet. I will show you how to do that. I'm going to take you through every step. Usually the canvases I get at Michael's, they say they're primed, but they're very rough still. So it's a very light prime they put on. And usually I'll gesso the canvas before I do anything with it, so that there's at least another coat on it. Sometimes I put 2 coats, but usually when you get them, they're very rough and very textured and very toothy. I don't know, but usually I put on gesso. It makes it a little more smooth. That way the paint sits on it a little better. So let me go through the colors here. Here's my palette. This is a messy palette. I probably won't have too much of this on camera because I'm trying to hold it, and then I hit the canvas and stuff here. It's a tight space here, but the colors I'm going to be using today are titanium white, phthalo blue, Prussian blue, Van Dyke brown, that's midnight black, and mountain mix. And that's pretty much it. It's just going to be a variation of blues and browns for the barn. And there was other colors on there, but those are the colors we're going to use tonight. And these are oil paints. And I'm going to use a couple big brushes here tonight. A couple 2-inch brushes, 1-inch brush. Let's see. Script liner. And I have a couple fan brushes. I usually keep 2 of each brush. So one for darks and one for lights. Just usually makes everything a little better. That way you don't have to keep cleaning your brushes and getting so much more paint in your thinner bucket than you need. So, and that's about it. Actually, there's a couple other brushes I might be using today for the barn. So we have some like little filbert brushes here, and these are just any old, these are old like nylon brushes. Just any flat tip brush. These are going to be what we use to make the boards on the barn. I'll show you that in a minute. But other than that, palette knife. Almost forgot that guy. But yeah, we're going to be using all these tools today. It's supposed to be a very simple painting. We're going to just have a barn right about here. Maybe some trees in the distance. It's going to be snowy. Very blue and moody, I think. All right, so I didn't put liquid white on the canvas yet. That's the next step we're going to do. I think, I'm going to take some of this liquid white here. I'm going to dip my brush into a little bit there. Dip your brush into something like that. And then you want to come up here, different areas of the canvas, and just touch. And then you just kind of want to go and do these X motions like this all over the canvas. all over. Just cover this canvas with that liquid white. Do these X patterns. I always tell the students in classes this is the most boring part, but it's the most necessary, because this is a wet on wet painting technique, and you have to have a wet base before you start painting anything. So I always tell them it's a good way to paint because it accelerates everything. And if you were to try to do this on a dry canvas to make all these colors blend like we're going to do in a little while, it would be horrible, because you'd be up in this corner the whole time. So those dry oil paints on this dry canvas, yeah, I don't think it would work very well. I mean, it can be done, but you'll probably get frustrated. But this accelerates it and allows you to blend the colors very nicely and move the paint very nice, and it's just a good way to do it. So something else I do is whenever I get it on and I get it covered to what I think is a good coverage, I'll take my brush and go across and work my way up. And once I get to the top, I will start on one side and go up and down. And just kind of get that evenly distributed. Make sure this allows it to be nice and even, not just big layers here and there. That's why it's spread out but nice and evenly. And we can just set that brush down. We don't have to clean it right now. But there's another trick we can do to find out if we have enough on the canvas. Is you want to take your fingers and you want to touch in various places. And what you're looking for is you want to see your fingerprint. If you can see your fingerprint, see how my fingerprints are right there? That means you have a good coverage. Now, if the fingerprints were all filled in and you couldn't see your fingerprints, that means you have too much. But you want to see your fingerprints like that, and that lets you know you have the perfect coverage. So we're going to take our brush again, same old brush, and we're just going to blend out those touch marks, finger marks, real quick, like that, and we're good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this. This is the Prussian Blue right here. I'm going to drag some of that out, just a little bit, and just tap, just a little bit right there. And let's start up here. And we're going to make this a moody looking little sky here. Maybe we'll drag some of this black into it, just a little bit of black. Just a touch, just drag a little tiny bit into it. Tiny bit of that black, and just tap. And just kind of. And we're just going to kind of make this real nice and a little bit moody here. Take a little bit of that black into this Prussian Blue. A little bit of blue, just tapping. A little bit on the brush, just tapping. And we'll come up here, maybe we'll just dance in some background stuff here. Just doing little circles and stuff, just going all over the place, and leave some open spaces for some clouds, and just get crazy with it. And we can throw a little bit more black in there if we really want to. But we're going to go about down that far. You just kind of go across that. Let's see. Let's go. I might throw a little bit of that black in here, just a touch. And we'll come up here, just kind of just do this. This is where you can kind of just go crazy with it and take out your frustrations, I guess. Just take a little bit of that. Let's go up here. Just doing little circles, just kind of blending this all together like this. We're just gonna go crazy with this, have fun. You can do whatever you want. as long as you're having a good time. See how that looks all cloudy and moody, I guess it's called. Something like that. Looking good. Okay, I'm just gonna throw some of that in there, blend that out a little bit. And you can add as much darkness or light if you want to this as you want, because this is your creation here. I'm just showing you how to do it. And I'm just blending this out a little bit, getting some of this stuff here. Very moody. Something like that. And we got some moody looking sky back there. It's gonna be snowy, cloudy. It was kind of a cloudy day today, so I'm like, well, let's do it. Let's make that our piece today. So I'm just gonna clean this off on a paper towel. Usually that's what I do, is I take the paper towel and I take the brush and I just kind of grind the paint in there and get all that excess paint out of there. Just like that. Just like that. Just keep going a little bit. And you can get a lot of paint off of here by just doing this. And you don't have to get all of it off, because we're just going to come in with this same color and go down here. But I just wanted to blend this out a little bit. So we'll just go like this. Do these little X motions like this. Just blend this sky out real nice. Real nice and soft like that. And then what we can do is we can just take and bring this down like this, because we're going to have some snow. So the best way to do some of that is just to take your brush that has some of that paint on it and just kind of take it on there. Just kind of, because we're going to have some shadow, but we're going to tap maybe twice. And we're going to add some of that down here. Because we want some shadow. Because we're going to add white paint over this to make snow. And then we're going to have our shadow already done here. So that's what we're doing here. Just bring this up. And it's a good thing I have tape on my edges, because look, I'm a messy painter, so. Just bring some of this down. Yeah, I'm gonna have it a little bit more, maybe a couple more taps. And then just kind of come in here like this. Just bring it across like that. It's easier to add more paint than it is to take it away. That's why I'm doing such little amounts at a time, because I don't want to get carried away and have to try to work to blend it out as hard. This is a good amount right here, just to flavor it a little bit. That's all we're looking for. Now, what we can do is we can make some our distant trees. So to do that, I am going to take a round brush, and I'm going to take maybe some of that Prussian Blue. Take some of that Prussian Blue and black mix on there, just like this. Just tap. Get a lot of color on there like that. Just tapping. And then let's decide where we're going to have a tree line back here. So touch. And just tap them in. Tap them all in there. And so what's going to happen is it is automatically going to get a little lighter because we have that liquid white on there. So we're going to do that, and it's automatically going to start blending with that liquid white. We're going to come to about here because we're going to have a barn right here. So right here, we don't have to put anything there. A little bit more here. Just tapping more into this paint here. Just tapping. And see, with that round brush, you're already getting, all you're doing is touching. So it's already giving you that round top there. So you're already getting that nice round top of all them tree tops there. That's what we're looking for there. Something like that. Nice round tops. Some trees off in the distance there. And then we're going to take our 2-inch brush. We didn't clean this brush. There's still liquid white and stuff on. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap. We're going to take the top corner of the brush and we're just going to tap the bottom of this like this. Just tap. Just like this. Just tap, 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 tap. And then just kind of graze over it real nice. And we get some mist. And this is a further away trees. And we're going to add one more line of trees right in front of that so that we're going to keep some of that mist there. So, going back into we're going to add a little bit of that black again. Little touch of black, that blue. I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. Get some paint on there. Just tap. Not sure how well that's showing up there, but tap, tap, tap. And we're gonna just kind of make little indications of trees and stuff here. See how this is a little bit darker because this is in front of that one. We're gonna push that back. So we're just taking some of that midnight black into that Prussian blue, and we're just gonna tap. Just tap, get a nice load on the bristles there. Reload your brush. And right there, we can do the same thing with that brush. What we can do, oops, I grabbed the wrong brush, is take our brush and we can clean it off. Get some of that excess blue on there. And just rub it into the paper towel. Do a paper towel clean on this quick. Get that excess off of there, just like that. Just get that off of there. And then we can come back up here and tap this. Same way we did with that. Just tapping. And it's going to mix with that liquid white right there. Just going to do that real nice. Make a nice, soft, misty edge right there. And then we can go across, kind of blend this out a little bit. Blend out them tap marks. And then what we can do is we can maybe make some snow back there. So what we can do is we can take, maybe we'll take that same brush. Maybe we'll just use that. We're going to make some snow right here. So we're going to make some snow. Actually, you know what? We're going to make some highlights on these little bushes here. So I'm going to take a smaller round brush. This is a 1/2 inch round. And I'm going to dip it into my liquid white like this. So I got liquid white right here. And I'm going to pull out some of that white paint. And I'm going to touch, maybe a touch of the Phthalo Blue and flavor that down a little bit. And we're just going to tap. We're just going to tap. Tap, 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 tap. So we should have a nice amount on the brush here. We're going to use the top edge of the, we're going to kick the brush up like this. And we're just going to maybe go like touch here. And just kind of go around the edges here. That, and we'll make some little bushy things here. Little things. And like this. Just touch with that thinner paint. Just kind of touch here and there. And just kind of pop these in. Just kind of go boom, boom. Light touch. That. After each bush, you want to load up your brush. Just give the indication of some bushes and stuff there. Just like that, and we'll go boom, boom, boom. Like that. Tap into more of that paint. Up here, maybe there's more right there. And we'll come over here. A little bit more paint. Tap each bush. And we'll come over here. Maybe there's one there. Back up. Tap again. And we'll do this last one here. Boom, boom, boom. There, and we got a whole row of little bushes and stuff right there. And then what we can do, we'll just take some of that white, drag through some of that white. Get some white on that brush, and we'll come up here like this, and we'll go shoo, and we'll just make some snow right there. Like that. And just make it kind of a little bit like not just straight, but have a little bit of like a hill maybe. And we'll come back in here in a minute and throw some of that stuff in there. So we can come up here. We're gonna make this a little darker so that when we put our white snow on, this blue is gonna show through, and it's gonna look like shadows and stuff. So we're just gonna blend some of this in here, some of this in here, like that. And that's in the distance. So we're gonna keep working a little bit further each layer. So there we got that part done. We are gonna try to. Maybe I'll make it a barn now. Maybe I'll make that. Gotta figure out where our barn's gonna be. Maybe I'll make some trees. Let's see. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? So I'm gonna scrape out the shape of my barn with my pallet knife. So to do that, I'm gonna go maybe make a this. Come out like this. You can scrape this out, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to scrape this out. We're going to go, because at this point you're not committed to stick with this pattern here. You can change it up, you can blend this out, change it away. So we're gonna make this come over like this one like this, just using the blade and just making an angle, and then boom, like that. Whew. And then we can do the same thing here. Well, I'm actually gonna make like this, come over here. Scrape all this out actually, because we're gonna make a nice little barn right here. See how you can just kind of shape that out. It's like that. Get all that excess paint out of there. So then some of this is still showing through, so we're good. See how hard I'm digging through there? Just getting all that excess paint off of there. So we have our barn kind of put there. Now, what I might do here before we get too far is I might put some trees off in the distance, like sticky trees. So what to do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some thinner. Gotta open my bucket here. Take a little script liner brush, some thinner, and just take a couple drops of thinner on your palette there. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna twirl the brush through the paint like this. Twirl it and pull with that really thin paint. And then we're gonna come up here, we're gonna make some trees, and so our barn's about right here, so we're gonna go make maybe something like that. And with this, you wanna have a nice shaky hand, so if you're nervous when you're painting, and you have a nervous hand, that actually works really good to your advantage. So we'll take some more of that paint, come up here, load this up. Put some more of that paint on there. Load this up and do as many as you want, as many branches as you want. Load them up. Let's make this one right here. You can make them as scraggly as you want. Maybe this tree's seen some stuff in his time, so he's old and been around for a while. So make up stories about your trees if you want. Nobody's gonna think any different of you. At least I hope not. And this guy can come out like this. There we go, we got one tree. And you can add as many of these trees as you want. So I'm gonna add maybe another one back here. And each time you want to load up that brush and twirl it towards you. And just kind of go crazy with it. kinds of little branches and stuff hanging off of there. So we got there's 2 trees. I think I'm good with that. That one's in the background. He's further away, so he looks smaller. And that'll help. If you make it smaller, it'll look further away. So that's a good thing there for perspective. Okay. So I'm going to take my palette knife. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. Palette knife. So we're going to take some Van Dyke brown. Van Dyke brown. Nice dark brown here. Pull that out, get some that color on there. We're going to kind of come up here, figure out where our eave is going to be. Pull down, 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 right there. Just like that. And get a little bit more. We're going to tilt the knife this way, and we're going to make there, there, like that. Take a pull. This is just the base. We're going to come back in and add some highlights to these boards and stuff like that. We're just going to come up here and kind of come down like this. And there you go. There's that. And we'll make, maybe this comes back this way. That, and we'll probably chop some of this tree off when we do our roof. That's okay though. Throw some of this thick paint on so that we have a nice thick layer here to work with. Yeah, and this is going to be a 3/4 view, so we're going to have a corner like right here. So right here's the front and this is the side. So we're going to come in with our white paint, some snow on the roof, and I'm just going to wipe this knife off real quick. Wipe this off. Okay, so then you come in, a little bit of white paint, just kind of pull that out, get some phthalo blue in there. Nice little roll of paint. And we're going to come in here, we're going to just kind of touch, touch, touch. That's going to be our roof. And we just kind of take our knife and go, whoo. Hang on. Let me get more paper towel here quick. And let me go back into our white. Cut off some of that paint. And we're going to come over here and go, ooh. And over. Pull. Over. And then make a little bit of snow on our roof. And maybe we'll come back in and touch some of that up there. We'll make this over here. A lot of snow. A lot of snow. Just kind of make it on there, make that look like an old barn right there. And then we can come back in with our highlights for our boards. We can use one of our little, we're going to use this little guy. It's like a filbert brush, a flat brush. Yeah, I think it's just a flat. And you can come in with a little bit of titanium white into some of that brown. Kind of leave it marbled. Just kind of come up here with your brush. Just kind of. Just kind of use the brush and just. Just kind of put some of that lighter color up there. Just kind of use that. A little bit of that. Some of that whiter color there. And this will look like old boards here. Something like that. And actually something I want to do, I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to pull this down a little bit. Go. And then what we can do, hang on a second. I'm going to take a little bit of Midnight Black. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to make this a little bit shadier. There. Maybe, yeah, throw some shade in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some black, Midnight Black on my palette knife, on the little edge there. And then we can make a little door right here. We can go shoom. Just being very careful. Boop. Nice little door. Hang on a second. I'm not liking this, so you can literally scrape stuff off if you don't like it. So that's what we are going to do. I'm going to scrape that off a little. I had a little bit too much there. A little bit too much there. Too much there too. There we go. I'm going to redo that portion of it. Cut more of that paint there off, and we're going to come up here and do this again. Very carefully. Shoom, shoom, shoom. all about angles, getting those angles right. Oops. Hang on. I just put my brown paint through my white paint, so get some of that paint. We're gonna come down here. We're gonna go. Shoo. Towel. And fix that edge there, get some brown, and we are gonna go that, and then cut that off of there. There we go. It's a little better. I wasn't happy with how that looked at first, so I had to fix it. Now, we'll come back in with our little filbert brush, flat, and we'll just put some white paint on there, and we'll just come back over here. And just lightly go over it, dragging some of that white paint on there. And that will give the indication of some old boards and stuff. We'll do that here too. Old shed, barn. Just kind of up here. That. Let's see. I wanted to bring this down, so we're gonna have to fix some of this here. Oops. That'll be okay. That's okay. All right, and then we can just cut the bottom of this off. And we're gonna make that door a little bit bigger. Just go. That. There we go. Big old barn door. There we go. Let's add some texture to this. A really old barn, so it's got some old texture to it. And then we can add some bigger trees here, maybe a big old evergreen tree right there, maybe some bushes. Let's see. So we're gonna take, let's take a 2-inch brush. We're gonna grab some white paint brush, and we're just gonna kind of come in here. We're going to drag some of that paint with us and go this way, maybe this way. And then maybe we can make a, let's see, we can put a big old tree maybe right here. How about that? I think that would look good. We can put a big tree maybe right here, so some of this is still showing. How about, And you can make this up however you want. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take some of that black. Through the fan brush. Actually, you know what? We're going to do it right here. I know we made that tree, but we're going to cover it up. We're going to cover up this whole side. And that's what you can do for something you don't like. We're going to load up that brush. Load up your fan brush. All kinds of that dark, nice dark color. And you can change your mind on where you want to put anything at any time. So like I just did, I'm going to put a tree right here. Big old tree right there. And then we're going to do the trunk, and then we're going to come in with the corner of our brush, just kick it sideways. This, and just kind of touch. And work side to side. Just throwing these in here, just kind of. Back in with some of that dark. And just get crazy with it, go all over, wherever. Just gonna throw this right here. Just here and there, throw out some like limbs that jet out, kind of not in like a perfect shape or anything. It's just some that just kind of stick out here, something like that. And we can add some like bushy things right here, maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna take a 1-inch brush. Take it through that white paint again. So what we're going to do, load it through that white paint, get some of that on there, and we're going to take this and pull this. Grab this and pull. And that's going to instantly give you shadow. Shoom. Just grab some of that and pull it. Something like that. Like that. And so we have another little plane in our painting here. We're going to make another one right here maybe. So, but we're going to make some highlights on this. So to do that, we're going to take another brush, fan brush, and we are going to take some liquid white. Take some liquid white on your brush. Go through some of that white there. Get a little bit more. Nice and thin. Nice and thin. Get some of that blue. Sneak up here, get some blue. And thin that down. You're looking for a nice light blue color, and just kind of get some on the bristles there, on the tops. And then you're going to come up here. Let's say we're going to touch and just kind of put in some snowy shapes here and there. Just kind of using the edge of the brush, like almost holding it like this straight on and going, so that way the bristles are all kind of open and hitting this. And then you're kind of making, each time a little bit here and there, you want to reload your brush, and then see how we're just making just little highlights here and there. You don't want to kill all the dark. You leave some of that dark there, and you'll have some nice snowy looking color here, and kind of just kind of get crazy with it down here, wherever. There, base of our tree right there. So happy with that. That's good. And then maybe I'll make another one right here, just a smaller one though. I like these trees, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make another one. I should have did that one first, but I'm looking at this. I'm gonna do one right here, maybe in the back. Maybe he's boom right there. Doing your trunk. Go straight in like that. Maybe he's right there. Maybe throw this guy in there, and then use the corner of the brush. Kick your brush to the side like this. Use the corner. Come up here. Touch. It'll work out, and the further down you go, the more of the brush you want to use. So. And you can push this up to give more of a upward look to your branches, like they're upwards, like just pushing up. And you can reload your brush as you need to. Throw some more of these on here. Just pushing up with the fan brush. Something like that. Get a little bit more right there. There. And then we'll bring some of that snow over here. So we're going to go into our white. Grab this and just go like that. See how that just gives you that instant shadow there. Something like that, and then we can take a fan brush and do our little highlights. Just come up here with the corner again. Reload your brush as you need to. Just touch, just kind of throw these over here. And we have little trees and stuff going on there. So then we can take the excess of this and we can make, maybe we can bring out a little path here. Just taking the fan brush and rocking a little bit. Take a little bit of that black and just kind of doing like a rocking motion like this. Just kind of go up here like this. Maybe there's a little path that winds around like this. Maybe it comes over here like this. Just doing this. And the further or the closer you get, the bigger swoops you want to make. So we can just kind of like that. Just kind of have a little path going on. And we're going to add some bushes here. So let's do that. Let's throw in some of these. We're going to use some of this Prussian Blue. Just tapping in that big old, that 1-inch round brush we had earlier. Just tapping. And then maybe we'll go up here like this. Just touch. Back into some of that. Just tapping. Tapping, reload, and then we'll come in here with our 1-inch brush. Take a little bit of liquid white through that light blue paint that we have there. Just kind of drag it in one direction through the paint. Turn the brush up. This and just kind of touch. A little bit more. Come up here. More right here. Boom, 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 boom. Take that brush through that paint again in one direction. Turn the brush so the rounded edges towards the ceiling and come up and touch. Something like that. And if you don't like that, what you can do is you can literally scrape it all off. See? Watch, I'll show you. If you don't like something, you can scrape it off and do it all over. And if you want to use a different brush, you can. Go right into a different brush here. Liquid white, I'm going to use the round brush here. I'm going to do some of that and just load the top corner. Top corner. And then come up here and go boop. That. Load that brush up. And load that brush up again. Leave some of those dark areas there. Load up that brush. We're going to make another one right here. Boom, boom, boom. We'll do one more. Boom, 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 boom. Like that. And then we get layers and layers of little bush. Each bush is a different entity. And then we can take our palette knife, take the top corner, and you can scratch in little twigs and sticks and stuff here and there. Do that kind of thing. And we can also take our fan brush and we can kind of just push in little reeds and stuff. Maybe there's something right here. Maybe just something jetting out of the snow. Maybe there's a little hill here with some stuff. a little bit of that. We can take our brush and we can just kind of pull this. And we have that. That's another little hill. We just threw that in there and we're good. So throw that in there. We've got our nice little barn path. So now it is time to sign this thing. So we're going to take our script liner and here's some of this white. I'm just going to thin down that white. Get a lot of paint on the bristles. Twirl the brush through the paint. We're going to come up here and go shoom. And very carefully go through this. Shoom. Shoom. Each time load a little bit more paint. There. And with that, I think we have a completed painting. And we're going to take off the tape here in a second. Let's see. I think it starts up here. We just take this. Well, that happened. Okay. Okay, let me try to put this back in here. Okay. Well, that was close. Okay. All right. There we go. That's there. All right. So there we have it. Nice little clean edge around the painting there. There you go. Check that out. Let's see. Nice little winter scene there. Pretty easy to do. I just wanted to show you how to do these things. And how fast you can change your mind on these things and where you want to put stuff. So I think that's pretty much it for this video. I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, share. Let me know what you want me to paint, and I'll try to do my best to show you. All right, guys. Take care and have a good day. Bye.